FA Cup final between Chelsea and Manchester United. For United, it was an opportunity to draw level with Spurs as the club to have lifted the trophy on the most occasions. Whilst for Chelsea, it was a first cup final since the days of Peter Osgood and company in 1970. United came into the final as favourites, having been crowned Premier League champions for a second time. They were looking to become just the fourth team of the 20th century to complete a league and cup double. In the commentary box, Trevor Brooking and John Motson.
Now, let's just take a final check on the teams. Glenn Hoddle, it was his decision to leave himself out and make himself substitute. There are 3 Scots in the side, but it's the team that was expected, the team that started last week, and Glenn Hoddle preferring to keep himself in reserve. Well, let's turn to Manchester United. The Dane Schmeichel in goal, past fit. Then the Ukrainian Kanchelskis, who survived a late injury scare that was kept very quiet. There are 2 Irishmen, Irwin and Keane, 2 Welshmen, Hughes and Giggs. And of course, there's the first Frenchman to play in the FA Cup final, number 7, Eric Cantona. The rain still drifting down slowly at Wembley. Weather's really changed since this morning. The pitch could be a bit slippy on top, and it's Chelsea in blue, Manchester United in red, Steve Clarke on the ball. Steen, Irwin for Manchester United. Giggs, a run from left to right behind the defence, wasn't quite found. Wise, and he looks for Steen, who was found. Burley, Wise. It went sort of through Peacock and wide.
A great crossfield ball by Dennis Wise there to find Steen. I'm sure full of confidence, called up for Terry Venable's England squad, perhaps hoping to get a game against Greece or Norway. And he's made 2 or 3 very astute passes in this opening spell. And Alex Ferguson never looks particularly happy during a game.
Burley. Good header by Erland Jonsson. It left Hughes on the ground, but it was fair. Wise looking for Spencer, came off Bruce. And Sinclair is taking the opportunity to get up from left back whenever he can. In the way was Keane. Oh, Parker lost out there. Sinclair again. Little touch to him by Peacock. Sinclair's cross. Oh, and Steen came in, and I think Bruce left that for Schmeichel, and there was a misunderstanding.
Well, Sinclair again, isn't it? I mean, that was one source of danger that I hadn't anticipated. I must say, he's very quick, but not so often in those attacking positions. There was a little bit of a misunderstanding. Steen was beyond the near post, couldn't flick it with the outside or try his left and then just run it out of play.
Ince, Cantona and Eddie Newton, who's sticking very close to Cantona in that area of the field, and he outwits him and robs him of the ball. And he's found Spencer, and look where Schmeichel is, and they'll need help. Pallister it was who got it away. Misjudgment by Schmeichel, surely. Back in by Burley. Well, it's still on for Steen. And Irwin gets pulled down. That's a free kick the other way, but Cantona lost the ball to Eddie Newton, and when John Spencer got in, I wasn't sure that Schmeichel was best advised to be there.
Well, once he started to come, he had to commit himself. It was a bit fortunate for United. They've got 3 covering defenders.
Burley. Peacock. Peacock! Oh, he's hit the bar! So near to 3 out of 3. Gavin Peacock.
Gavin Peacock flicks it onto his left foot. He's a 2-footed player. Loops it over. Schmeichel had no chance. Another yard further out, and it would have dipped in under the crossbar.
There was always a chance that this would be a cup final between Steen, who's been brought down. Now, this is where Dennis Wise, who made the winning goal for Wimbledon from a position like this in '88, can place free kicks so precisely. He's got Jonsson and Kjellberg up on the far side, waiting to come in. Jonsson the nearer one in fact. Kjellberg came in there. Oh, and offside. The flag's up. That wouldn't have mattered. There was a Chelsea player in an offside position. And now Giggs has made a run, left to right again. Wants it played now by Kanchelskis, who then moves inside to join Cantona and Hughes in the penalty area. That's Cantona! Brilliantly taken by Dimitri Karin as Hughes threw himself forward.
Well, a lovely flowing move from Manchester United, their best to date, involving both flank players. A good deep cross. Cantona unselfishly trying to knock it back across, but Karin, very agile, made up ground and held on to it very well.
Well, they say at Chelsea that this goalkeeper from Russia has got what they call the best spring of any they've worked with. He's so agile. Eddie Nijveski, who works with the goalkeepers at Chelsea, was talking in glowing terms of his prowess in that sort of situation to me earlier this week. There's Eddie, in fact, on the left there of Peter Shreves, as the player manager goes back to the bench, having just survived a scare. But it was a brilliant save. Oh, that's not a brilliant header, though, by Parker. This is Spencer for Chelsea. Having beaten them twice in those Premiership games, not much has happened in the first half to suggest that they can't keep that record going, because the man who scored those 2 league goals, Gavin Peacock, was the nearest we came to a goal scorer in the first 45 minutes today. My mind was just drifting back, you know, to Boxing Day, when Chelsea were 1 from bottom in the Premiership, and there were all sorts of lurid headlines about crisis, and would Glenn Hoddle last the season? And as he takes his seat for the second stage of this FA Cup final, we too wonder whether we might see him as a player before the afternoon is out. Irwin, full-back to full-back, to Giggs, but good cover. Burley, Clark, Cantona looks for Hughes. Erland Jonsson across, needs to be cleared by Kjellberg. And Chelsea again with some nice touch play. This is Wise, and he's got room to move here. He's found Peacock. Spencer and Steen well forward, others square. Now that came off a Manchester United player to Schmeichel, but common sense says it was not an intentional pass to the goalkeeper. No,
I don't think even the most hardest of Chelsea supporters could justify the fact that that was deliberate. But
oh, Kjellberg only to Cantona. Hughes, Giggs. What a shot.
A bit more positive from United at the opening. I thought Dennis Irwin's through ball to Giggs just now was about the best ball that we've seen from one of the defenders, and that was what was certainly lacking from that first 45 minutes, and Giggs has come into it that much more from the service.
Keane, Irwin, Ince. Chelsea get their tackles in, coming from behind. That's a foul. Peacock and Spencer stretched it Ince there.
I think Ince has been one of the few United players who has lived up to his reputation. I think he's been as involved as anyone in trying to get them going again.
Is this too far for Irwin?
Not the way he's shaping up to it, no. Although I think it's going to be a fantastic shot if he can beat somebody of the quality of Karin.
Karin's never been beaten by a shot from outside the area. Not since he joined Chelsea, only one that was deflected. And he keeps that record going from the Irishman. Keane. Parker. Cantona coming short. Jonsson comes with him, he finds Ince. Away by Sinclair. Now then, can Manchester United maintain the momentum? It's Parker sliding it through to Cantona. Here comes Hughes, he slipped at the crucial moment, but here's Irwin. Keane. Giggs. They're just starting to build something here, United, it would seem. Irwin. Oh! Oh! Eddie Newton on Dennis Irwin. A penalty in the cup final. Dennis Irwin brought down by Eddie Newton on the hour, and Manchester United have a penalty.
Well, all the Chelsea players all put their hands on the head when the tackle went in. Look at that. I mean, he's had such a good game, Eddie Newton, right in front of David Ellery. No alternative but to point to the spot.
Well, the United players are looking at their injured colleague, but it's Cantona, I think, who'll take it. He's put the ball on the spot, and this will be interesting, won't it? The first Frenchman in a cup final against the first Russian goalkeeper in a cup final. And the last two penalties at Wembley in FA Cup finals have been saved. Dave Besant and Mark Crossley. But can Eric Cantona make his mark on the biggest occasion in the English game? Or can Karim? Cantona made it look like a practice ground penalty. He just stroked it in the corner and sent Karim the wrong way. And with this goal, the Premiership champions take the lead in the FA Cup final. Chelsea on the attack, 1 goal down. Penalty by Cantona, who got that touch there to Ince. And Cantona's in the game now with a vengeance. Look at this. He's got 2 to his right, but he's still got the ball. 1 to his right now. It's Kanchelskis, but here comes Karim. Well, I've got 2 observations to make about the penalty in a moment, but the game is moving so fast there's no time. It's Steen. He's gone past Bruce. Burnley coming in far side. Oh, it was too long, the cross. I just wanted to make a point about David Ellery's positioning on that penalty, Trevor. He was virtually standing within a yard of the incident. I know it was an obvious penalty, but it was an excellent piece of an example to all referees as to where they should be when the play's in that area of the pitch.
But it just only highlights at the moment what an outstanding match he's had. He's kept control superbly and let the game flow when it's needed it.
Oh, they're struggling here. It's Kanchelskis in. Oh, he's given another one. Sinclair on Kanchelskis. A second penalty to Manchester United. Well, I can't recall this happening in a cup final before. Sinclair charges Kanchelskis down, and within a matter of minutes, 2 penalty kicks to the same side. David Ellery wasn't as close this time, but he had no doubts. Chelsea are protesting.
Well, I shouldn't have said anything, should I? Because I can't agree with that decision. The linesman, who was in a much better position, did not signal the penalty. David Ellery, who was 30 yards behind him and couldn't have seen the incident as clearly as the linesman, gave the penalty himself. And I must say, I thought it was a wrong decision. If anything, it was actually obstruction outside the area initially when they made contact.
Well, we'll try. Well, obviously, we will see it again when the penalty's been taken, Trevor. Not for a moment, of course. Chelsea have made their protest long and loud. They agree with Trevor Brooking. He agrees with them. We'll see. But it's Cantona in another battle of wits against Dimitri Karim. And again, it's 2-0. And Eric Cantona. And look at Glenn Hoddle, he's got the tracksuit off now. Eric Cantona creates some sort of cup final record, stroking in 2 penalties. This time, the alleged offender is Sinclair. but all sorts of things are happening now. This is how he took the second one, and really it was just like the first one. He tucked it away in that corner, and Karine, who must have thought, well, he's going to change his mind this time, and he didn't. Glenn Hoddle is on the field. The player-manager, Craig Burley, is the man who's gone off. And Eric Cantona, 2 goals in the space of 6 minutes in this cup final. And Manchester United, at the end of all that, are 2 goals nearer the double.
Well, how fortunes change, don't they? That first half, this is the challenge, you see. He's let it come across him, and then when Kanchelskis makes the first touch, the first contact, look, he's outside the penalty.
Hughes! Yes! Mark Hughes again! The Wembley Warrior makes it 3-0. And surely now the double is secure. Mark Hughes! Chelsea deflated. And Manchester United go 3 goals clear. Well, 3 in 9 minutes. And this time, oh dear me, you've got to feel sorry there for Sinclair. But Hughes now, what a record he's created. 4 big Wembley occasions in one season. He's scored in all of them. And Chelsea, well, forward by Hoddle, but surely he's come. Oh, look at this now. He's onside, Cantona. He was in his own half. And can he complete the hat-trick here against Karine? And he rolls it the wrong side of the post. And you start to wonder how many Manchester United might score. You start to wonder whether Chelsea will fall apart completely. They certainly did on the 3rd goal. Offside flags up here. It was Eric Cantona who drifted.
And it's that linesman this side who was so near to that second penalty decision. He didn't put his flag up. It was David Ellery that made the choice.
Great ball by Hoddle to Steen there, though. This is Wise. Hoddle is coming in from the far side himself. And there's the early header by Peacock. And Peter Schmeichel makes from Peacock perhaps his best save of the afternoon. He had to. Manchester United look as though they're going to join that illustrious list of 5 other clubs to have achieved that particular target. Liverpool, the last ones in '86, of course, with Alan Hansen. Arsenal earlier with Bob Wilson. And Spurs, the others this century. Here's Wise. Into Peacock, chance here for Chelsea. There's the drive, and it was close from Spencer.
I don't think anyone would begrudge Chelsea perhaps getting a goal for their supporters, because they had that excellent first half.
Well, it seemed as if Cantona was destined to write his name across this season in many different ways. And having won 2 championships with Manchester United, he's now going to pick up an FA Cup winners' medal with 2 penalty kicks that he just stroked in as though it was morning practice. He's offside this time. Really wasn't in any way unnerved or fazed by having to take 2. And Alex Ferguson will now give his 2 substitutes a taste of the cup final action. Lee Sharp, who looks thrilled to bits, and Brian McClare. The players going off are Kanchelskis and Irwin. Here's Spencer. Cascarino. Oh, little ball in, Dennis Wise. Oh, well, he might well have pulled one back there, the Chelsea captain.
That's a great move, built right from down in front of us here. A flowing move down the left-hand side. Cascarino, good first touch into Dennis Wise.
This is Cascarino. Wise. And here's Peacock. Wise again. Onside. Cascarino blocked by Schmeichel. Look at Ince again there, the man to get the foot in. And Eddie Newton stumbling a bit, and Ince is the furthest forward again. Chelsea still at it. That's Newton floating it for Cascarino. Two unmarked in the middle, surely now. There's the shot on the turn by Spencer. And Schmeichel has reserved his best work. Or it's been reserved for him until the last few minutes. Corner again. Played short. Hoddle. Now Cantona. Now he's got players joining him. One of them is Mark Hughes. Now two to the left. Oh, and onside. Paul Ince for Manchester United. Can he finish it here? Ince. Oh, and selfish. Brian Leclerc. What a wonderfully unselfish piece of play by Paul Ince of Manchester United in England, to put this smile on the face of the manager, to give Leclerc the chance to score, and to confirm that Manchester United have won the double. Out came Karine, round him went Ince. He saw Clark was there, so he just rolled it back, and Leclerc accepts the greatest gift of all, an open goal in a cup final. It's 4-0, Trevor.
Well, rubbing salt in the wound there, Manchester United, because Chelsea so close a couple of times at the other end, although they probably feel now that they could be playing until Sunday morning, still not be able to get the ball in the net. Goes up the other end. Eddie Newton tries to play the offside. The linesman said when the ball was played it wasn't, and Paul Ince sets up Brian Leclerc for his goal. Here
they go again. It's Hughes. We're well into stoppage time, as you can see. 4th minute, in fact. And Hughes has gone down injured. And there it is. The achievement is nearly unique. The praise is nearly unanimous. The double is definitely Manchester United's. The 6th club to achieve this remarkable feat. Chelsea crestfallen, cheerful in the first half, but cruelly played out of things in 9 minutes in the second half. One of the most famous football clubs in the world achieves one of the most precious feats in the world of football. Manchester United have won the double, and they've equalled Tottenham Hotspur's record of 8 FA Cup wins.